Today's video is about my night routine. The night routine of a 26-year-old banker working and living in London. And hopefully by the end of this video, I would have convinced you that this is not a life that you should choose to live. My night routine for me literally starts once I leave the office, and I will leave the office between 5 and 7 p.m. Not because I'm done with work, but just because I'm tired of being in the same place for the last 8 or 10 hours. I'm tired of seeing the same people. I'm tired of making the same dry joke. I will leave the office between 5 and 7 p.m, get home and log back in. But once I get home, the first thing I do is I unpack my smelly work bag, which is filled with Tupperware for my breakfast and lunch, which I should have washed in the office, but I didn't. And more or less, once I open it up in my flat, it literally stinks up the whole place. Secondly, I put my coat on the coat rack. Even though I know I'm gonna use that bag and my coat in the next 8 or 9 hours, I could leave it on my couch, but it makes the whole place untidy. For me, I try and make sure that everything has its place, and also that I always put everything back in its place. Even though you're gonna use it technically very soon, it just makes sense to keep your place organized and keep everything back in its place. Once I do that, I rush to my air fryer to create a very gourmet meal of potatoes and air fried chicken. So nutritious, tastes so good, like you could sell this at a steakhouse, honestly. So I'm gonna put the air fryer on 20-25 minutes, go back downstairs, log in, set the time on my watch for 20 minutes as well, come back upstairs, check if the food is not burned. If it's not burned, I'll put it again in for another 10 minutes, go back downstairs, keep on working. Once my food is ready, I'll more or less eat my dinner and watch some YouTube videos. Typically, I'll be watching like fitness YouTubers, bodybuilders, travel vlogs, really depends on the day. But most of the time I'm watching fitness vloggers on YouTube. And I'll go back downstairs again and work and work and work and work till my eyes hurt. Typically around 11:30 p.m. That's when the output of my work just starts to go down. And at that point, this is typically when most other YouTubers' night routine will start. For a night routine, it should be a time for you to relax, distress, get ready for the next day. And mine will do the last thing, get ready for the next day. My night routine, unfortunately, doesn't give me the chance to relax and distress. In fact, I get the most stress at night. And in fact, I bring all the emotions from work into my apartment. By the mere fact that we can work from home, it just means that you can honestly never get rid of that stress. But you chose to be in this life, so it is what it is. I also try to make sure that at night, I'm always preparing for my morning routine. How can I make my morning routine a lot more efficient? How can I make my morning routine work for me? For me in the morning, my goal is wake up, take a shit, weigh myself, get my gym bag, off to the gym, train, head to work, kill work. So what can I do at night to make that a reality? What can I do at night to make that run a lot more smoothly? Number one, at night, I make sure my gym bag is prepped and ready. At night, I make sure I make my pre and intra workout drink. Also, because I'm now running, I also prepare some rice cakes I will have before my run. And last, like a kid, I'll pick out what I'm gonna wear to the gym the next day, just because why waste time in the morning doing that when you can do it literally right now? So for me, that's my night routine. I really apologize if you were expecting something more glamorous, fancy, with lovely, I don't know, affirmations before I go to bed. Honestly, none of that shit happens. I don't remember to journal or care enough to do so. I don't have a nice candle lighting experience where I write in my notebook before I go to bed. I don't wear some fancy eyewear to go to bed. Most of the time, to be honest with you, I end up sleeping off on my chair and I wake up the next day ready to go again. Who really goes to bed? Who really says I'm going to bed and actually going to bed? Most of the time it's okay, I'm gonna work a bit and then you wake up the next morning. I'm gonna watch a video to distress and then you wake up the next morning. I'm gonna do some work on my laptop in the living room and then you wake up the next morning. I can count the amount of times I've actually gone to bed, and I always say this phrase, I don't go to bed, I sleep off. I always just sleep off doing something. And is it good? Is it bad? That's not for me to let you guys know. It's a means to an end, and I just see it all as part of the process. And initially, when you're trying to create your night routine, it might be hard, difficult, not straightforward, but over time, once you understand what you want to get out of it, then it becomes easier to make and to tailor and to iterate. Every process you have should be iterated over a number of days, months, years, until you're happy with it. My night routine wasn't formed in a day or in 2 days, maybe in 3 days, not in 3 days, maybe in a month, 2 months, I don't know. There was no time frame for when it stopped forming, and it's constantly still being changed and fine-tuned and tweaked. So on that note, I'll leave you guys. Hope you have a nice day. Stay blessed, and I'll speak to you guys in the next video.